what are we going to get into today? Well, let's talk the good, the bad, the ugly of hydrometers and refractometers. But first, welcome to Stillworks and Brewing. My name is Randy and this is the channel that's all about home distillation and brewing. Well, first, these are very important tools that I say are a must-have. Yes, you can brew and you can distill without them. You can do it by feel, but in my opinion, they're just kind of like a must-have. Okay. I mean, it's important to know on your project. It's important to know where you start at and you finish at. You know, it's just good answers. These tools will answer some important questions like, did my mash, did it convert? Is my mash done fermenting? How is my still doing? What is it doing? Are we coming out of heads? Are we going into tails? How to proof it down? Where is it proof down to? Alright, but first let's start with the SG hydrometer, or starting gravity hydrometer. Okay, so we're going to start with the glass SG hydrometer. Stands for specific gravity or starting gravity, whatever the case may be, whatever you want to call it. So first, how does this thing work? Well, the short answer to the long question is, it's a weighted glass tube, and you float it in a liquid, and it goes by the specific gravity of that liquid. The more dense the liquid, the higher it's going to float, which in turn you read the reading. Okay, so the density of that water is what makes this float. Okay, all right, that's how it works. The easy way to use this thing, if you got, a test tube, you're going to fill that full of liquid. You're going to float this in that liquid and you will read where it is floating at. Okay, I mean, for example, let's say it's of 1.050. All right. So first, let's start with the good. The good part is these are relatively low cost. I mean, you're looking somewhere about what, $8 to $20. Okay, that's not too bad. It's pretty accurate and pretty reliable. Another thing, it's very easy to use, and it is very easy to clean. Okay, bad news. Well, number one, you need a large sample. Okay, now you can sanitize this, and you could sanitize everything and put it back in your either beer or your into your mash, and it'd be okay. But you got to use a large sample. Okay. The other thing is, it has to be temperature. It's temperature corrected. Okay, these are calibrated at 60 degrees, and you can go online and you can get a chart for the temperature you are to convert, to make a temperature correction, I should say. Okay. Next, the ugly. The ugly is, this darn thing breaks pretty damn easy. You'll set it down on something and all of a sudden it'll start to roll and crack, boom, smash. So I always say the suggestion is own two of them, because if you have two, you won't break one. If you only have one, you will break it, guaranteed. Okay, moving right along. SG, starting gravity, refractometers. Well, how does it work? Well, the best I've read or whatever, when you put a liquid on here, it reflects the light different. It has a gauge inside, and it will read the specific gravity you got. I found to be pretty accurate. You measure it against this, they're pretty much reading the same thing. So That's pretty good. How do you use it? Well, it's very simple. You take a couple drops of your mash or your wort, put it on this lens right here. You close the lens, you look through it. Up at the light, usually you need a little bit of a brighter light to look up through it. And a blue line is going to meet a white line, and that's what your SG reading will be. Very easy. Okay, so the good. Well, how much does it cost? Well, these are right around somewhere $18 to $20. That ain't too hateful. I feel they're pretty darn accurate. It's a very small sample size, it's just a couple drops. And the next thing would be, it's easy to clean. Now, granted, you can't dunk these down into anything to clean it. You basically just take a wet paper towel, just wipe it off, and you're good to go. Alright, the bad. The only thing I can say about bad is, like when you got your fermentation going on in the very beginning, you check your starting gravity. This works great. As your fermentation goes on and you get alcohol that's in there, these don't work too great. It'll come off with some crazy numbers. I do believe that they have calculation charts out there to help correct that. But what I do is once the fermentation starts, this is what I'm going for, right? I mean, these are great. Like I said before, these are good for pre-fermentation or post-fermentation, right? So, okay. As ugly, I don't really have an ugly for this one. Okay. All right. So that is the SG or specific gravity or starting gravity refractometer. Okay. So that's finished up with the two SGs. Now let's go to the glass proof and trail. Is it proof and trailing? Hydrometer. Okay, what this is good for, well, how do you use it? Basically, you're going to use this the same way as this. You're going to take a sample, you drop that in there, it's going to float. You got two scales on here. You got one that is Tril, T-R-A-L-L-E, and that goes from 0 to 100%, and then the other side is going to go from 0 to 200 proof. Okay, so the good, well, the cost, $8 to $20. Look around, you can get them all different prices. They're pretty darn accurate, like this. They're very easy to clean, so that is fantastic. Okay, the bad. Well, as far as I understand, like if you have a liqueur, if you got sugar in the liquid, it kind of messes with the readings. That's one bad. The other bad might be you got a large sample. Okay. And the only ugly that I've thought of is like its cousin. Very easy to break. Okay. Alright. So that is the proof and Tril hydrometer for measuring ABV or proof of alcohol. Okay. Moving on. This is the ABV refractometer. Okay, just like its cousin, you put a couple drops on here, close the lid, look through it, and it'll be a blue line meets a white line, and that's what your ABV is going to be. These goes from 0 to 80%. Okay. And of ABV. I have calibrated these against these and checked them out, and they both are reading the same thing. So let's go with the goods. The goods is they're relatively cheap. I mean, like I said, on these $18 to $20, somewhere in that neighborhood. You might be able to get a good deal, a little bit less or a little bit more. Yeah, but they're about $18 to $20. They're pretty darn accurate. they're both auto temp corrected, so that's a good important thing. Let's see what else we got. Oh, easy to clean. Just wipe them off. Do not dunk them. Just wipe. Don't submerge them. Just wipe them off. One of the biggest things that I like, right, is I use it when my still's running. I can check in real time, right at the spout, of what's coming off, and you can really be, because like if you got to pair it, it's kind of an average because of the amount, right, and it changes. It's kind of an average. This, I'm checking a few drops right out of that spout, you know, as much as I want, okay, and I don't lose any of the distillate. You can really watch, like when I notice it's dropping off real fast, hey, I know I'm getting ready to go into my tails, okay? So, to me, that is very, very important. This I use this all the time, okay? Alright, so, and like I said before, you can calibrate these. So, I double check it with this and calibrate it. And it's so easy to calibrate. There's just a little screw there. Dial it in, okay? What else? Alright, the bad. The bad is it does not read above 80% ABV. Even at 80, it seems to be a little bit fuzzy. So anything below 80. So if you're doing a good vodka or something, well, yeah, you could be good and accurate with that. But if I'm doing, you know, my whiskeys or rums and stuff that's not up to 80%, you know, hey, this works fantastic. Alright, so that is the bad. And like with these, I feel that sugar messes with them. So you really can't check the ABV of a liqueur, let's say, which has sugar in it. So that's that. Ugly, I don't really have an ugly. No, don't have an ugly. Alright? So, you've heard the good, the bad, and the ugly. So which one do you need? Well, in my opinion, I need all four. They all do a little, some of them do the same job, but a little bit different. Right? So, and for the price of them, why not have all four? You know, like I said before, yes, you can make a mash and you don't have to have any of this stuff. But it's just a good idea to keep track of that, and then as you make the next one, you can make any corrections you need to make, and you just jot some notes down. You keep, just so you get better at your craft, right? They just make, they will help you when you're making your mash. It's like I said, you just know where your mash is at. And then after fermentation and how to run your still and all, they just help. All right, it's tools of the craft, man. Tools of the craft. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got just one little thing out of it. I don't see a lot of people using ABV refractometer. Try it out. I enjoy it. I really enjoy that, and I use it all the time and haven't had any problems at all. So, a couple last things I wanted to say. First is, hey, enjoy what you make and make what you enjoy. Yes, I do a lot of bourbons. My most favorite spirit out there is bourbon. That's just me. You might like rum, whatever case you like is you like. And so, like I said, enjoy what you make and make what you enjoy. Alright, last thing I got to say, and I say this every time. Oh, wait a minute, let me stop. There is one thing that you can really do to help this channel out. And it don't cost anything, but it really will help us out. Hit that notification, or not, hit that, well, you can hit the notification bell, but hit that subscribe button. You'd be surprised how much that helps this channel just keep going. Alright, so, last thing I got to say. Hey, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time here on Stillworks from Brewing. Cheers, everybody.